Hello there, multiple felon gone or Calabasas here with some torture. Some normally I would say cringe, but this is more anti-intellectualism and stupidity than it is cringe, but it's pretty cringe too. Get right into it. Kill me.
I think it comes from the origins of what this so-called toxic masculinity comes from, which is the education, the bad education that we have received for many ages.
Alright, first things first, toxic masculinity and toxic femininity is it's not an education. I can't tell if he's a fucking moron. This is just bad English and he just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I have no idea. But they're basically just like best described as a socially acceptable or no, sorry, a abusive or self-destructive behavior that is seen as socially acceptable or good. So, and it's called like masculinity or femininity based on the group that sees it as good. So, like this, for example, would be an example of modern toxic masculinity, where having an inferiority complex, which is what Javier Bardem has here, and treating women like they're a combination of children and superior, like a superior class of citizen, um, is in fact toxic masculinity. Um, Women should be treated the same way as men are. Like why you putting them on a pedestal? Like you having tough time getting laid there, bud? Like I don't understand this. Um, Basically, the long story short, what I'm getting at here is this entire rant that he goes on here is entirely projection, and it's pretty fucking obvious when you think about this. He's talking about himself.
Which I'm part of. I'm 57 years old, coming from a very
Yeah, so he even says it right there. He's a part of it. He is that. So this is one of those things that like a lot of people don't get. Here's basically I'm not going to get deep into this. This would require like way longer explanation, but basically men like this, they treat women like crap at one time in their life. They go through some kind of like psychological transition, maybe just like puberty or something like that, and they like flip. And when they flip, they you can go like three different ways. You can inferiority complex and worship women, or you can have a superiority complex and think women are less than you, or you could just be a sane fucking person and treat men and women exactly equally, like a normal, sane person. And it's clear when you have a motherfucker like this every time, it's like Hassan Abi. It's like, I already know exactly. You used to abuse women, and this is kind of like your inferiority complex and your way of like making it right. And to me, you're like dumpster fire trash from like the fucking get go. I've literally never abused a woman in my life. I've never had women like bitch at me. I've never had a reason to treat women like shit, because women, for the most part, I've been very lucky. Women have been nice to me. Not saying, that's everybody's experience. Some women are fucking god awful. I've just been incredibly lucky. So, just saying. That's my experience.
machista country called Spain, where there is an average of two women killed monthly by their ex-husbands.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't finish that thought. If you act like this, I'm assuming it's just because you've abused women in the past. That's like basically my thoughts on this.
Ex-boyfriends, which is horrible. Just that amount of
Okay, sorry. Wanted to.
years old coming from a very machista country called Spain, where there is an average of two women killed monthly by their
Wow.
ex-husbands or
Two
ex-boyfriends, which is
two women killed monthly in
horrible.
Spain.
Just that amount of women
That
being murdered,
that amount of women being murdered is
it's
horrible. It's just
unbelievable.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. You hear that? So that amount of women being murdered is just unbelievable. What are we gonna? Oh, Condor did it. According to the 2023 UN GODC, Global Study on Homicide in 2021 at a global level, 81% of the homicide victims were men. In 2021, males accounted for most homicide victims in all jurisdictions except Austria, the Czech Republic, Iceland, Latvia, Norway. Females were slightly more likely to be homicide victims. So this is why I hate these micro dicked, can't get pussy, gotta worship women, fucking cringy ass pussies like this, and why I will always make, like, it doesn't matter if you got an inferiority complex, I'm gonna make you my bitch. If you're one of these alpha male types, I'm gonna make you my bitch. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna make you my bitch. And this is like the thing that I don't understand about human beings is how can you be so passionate, like this stupid ass dumb fuck is, about a subject like that, like murder statistics, and you can't do the most basic low level research to find out that women are nowhere near as likely as men are to be murdered. Like, you can't even pretend like you're an intelligent human being if it's this easy to make you look like the stupidest of dumb fucks. Like that. The thing that pisses me off so much is a lot of people don't understand is like this research is easy, and every single one of these people who talks about murder statistics in particular, or homeless statistics, all of these people has seen the fact that men are more likely to experience all this shit, and they go out of their way to represent it in a completely different way to make it seem like women are victims. And you can literally, there's this world metrics, gender crime statistics. This is like one of the funniest paragraphs I've read in my life. Gender crime. This is how you know it's written by a sociopath. I'll explain this in a second. So, gender crime, multiple countries point to a sharp pattern. For example, 90% of known murder offenders in the US were male. Okay, so when you, just like for those who aren't, this is just like a little pro tip for you sociopaths out there. When you make a paragraph and you start out like this, you're making people think about this is the subject. So we're talking about murder right now. And then 83% of prison inmates for violent offenses in Europe were male, yet victim profiles often skew heavily female. That is, objectively speaking, false, as we just discovered. And they bring up statistics that were completely unrelated to murder. Which, by the way, anything related to this statistic, no one actually knows. Yeah, it's not scientifically recognized because women and men lie about these things. So there's so much lying where literally no statistic or fact related to that is taken seriously by anyone in the scientific community. Objectively speaking, you're a fucking idiot if you ever say anything even closely related to this. Fucking idiot. And definitely a sociopath. Anyway, so isn't it hilarious how this whole paragraph starts out talking about murder offenders, but why don't we talk about the murder victims? Oh, is it because all three of the writers are women? That why? Oh, even the editor's a woman. Fact checker. Oh, hilarious. And yeah, I definitely contacted them and sent them a message over that mentally ill, unhinged, sociopathic rant. Let's get back into this cringe fest.
And we kind of normalized it. It's like, well, yeah, it's horrible. I mean, are we nuts?
Like literally, to me, you're just talking about misandry. Like this is something I've never seen in my life. I've never seen misogyny, abuse towards women socially acceptable in any way whatsoever.
Killing women because some men think they own them, they possess them. So, and that problem also goes.
And this is where it gets like really unhinged. This is where we go from like, okay, this guy's a bit of a dumb fuck who like this is where he goes full on mental illness.
To Mr. Mr. Trump, Mr. Putin, Mr. Netanyahu, the big balls man saying my is bigger than yours, and I'm gonna bomb the of you. It's a male toxic behavior that is,
He said that. Did you hear that?
and
The
I'm
end there.
gonna bomb the of you. It's a male toxic behavior.
It's a male toxic behavior. This is like I've literally I've studied psychology, I've studied toxic masculinity, which is barely a subject in anybody like oh my god. I've studied toxic femininity, and this is genuinely one of the most mentally ill, delusional examples of projection I've seen in my entire life. He's this mentality of trying to demonize men is objectively speaking like the number one example of toxic masculinity and toxic femininity. It is socially acceptable among men and women to demonize men and imply that men find anything Trump, Putin, or Netanyahu is doing is socially acceptable. Like no one is like that. It's this is like it's laughably insane. And objectively speaking, there's no connection between what these men are doing and anything related to men in general. It's like it's complete mental illness. It's a total delusion. And objectively speaking, they're just psychopaths. That's it. Trump, Putin, Netanyahu, they're literally just psychopaths. That's that's Trump is a lot more mentally ill than the other two. Like he's like a laundry list of things fucking wrong with that poor man. I almost feel bad for him. You can tell because he's just so mentally ill. Obviously, almost is the key word there. This is what we call like the privilege gap between men and women, where you have literally feminists worshipping Donna Hilton because of the crimes that she did, and no matter what men say or do, there's always going to be microdict, inferiority complex heaven, sociopaths like Javier here that suggest all men behave in a specific way. In order for you to be a man and say anything like this publicly, you'd have to be god awful in bed. Your penis, Javier, does not work. I don't believe it works. This man 100% has to eat pussy in order to get any woman to orgasm. 100%. Not even mainly, not even like a maybe. 100%. This dude cannot use his tiny dick to make any woman experience pleasure. Like this dude, like you cannot behave this way. You cannot be one of the best looking men on earth. Have to worship this women this much and have a dick that can deliver. This is a big yikes, bro. I hope she sees this, Javier. I hope you finally get laid for the first time in your life. That's it. I don't really. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. My God, it's wild to know that you can get way more pussy than a celebrity. Anyways, that's it. Bye.